As the Buddha wisely said, you yourself, as much as anyone in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. In today's world, it's easy to get lost in the constant noise and demands, forgetting the most important relationship we have, the one with ourselves. Prioritizing ourselves isn't selfish. It's an essential act of self-love and self-care that equips us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and strength. Let's explore the transformative power of turning inward, embracing self-compassion, and witnessing the changes that unfold when we make our well-being our top priority. Are you ready to begin this journey with me? Focusing on yourself means turning your attention inward, towards your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's about developing a deep understanding of your own needs, desires, and motivations. This isn't about ego, it's about building a compassionate relationship with yourself, just like you would with a dear friend. It's the bedrock for personal growth and inner peace. Through self-awareness, we become attuned to the fears holding us back, the beliefs shaping our perceptions, and the patterns influencing our behavior. This empowers us to make intentional choices aligned with our values. Self-reflection is key too, setting aside time to examine your thoughts, emotions, and experiences with curiosity, questioning assumptions, challenging beliefs, and uncovering deeper truths. Ultimately, self-focus is recognizing that your relationship with yourself sets the stage for all other relationships. By nurturing that bond, you create the foundation for a life of authenticity, purpose, and fulfillment. In our hyper-connected world, distractions are everywhere, vying for our attention. From buzzing notifications to the pressures of social media, it's easy to lose sight of ourselves. To truly focus and cultivate inner peace, we must learn to detach from these external forces that pull us away from our growth. Detachment doesn't mean isolation. It means creating healthy boundaries and consciously choosing where to direct your attention. Set aside specific times to disconnect from technology. Turn off notifications or declutter your space to create an environment conducive to reflection. Mindfulness is a powerful tool. By bringing awareness to the present moment and redirecting your attention, whenever it wanders, you cultivate inner calm amidst chaos. Mindfulness lets you observe thoughts and sensations without judgment, breaking free from distractions and reconnecting with your inner self. Another technique is cultivating presence, fully immersing yourself in whatever you're doing, whether it's eating a meal or walking in nature. By focusing on the present, distractions fade and you connect more deeply with yourself and the world. Central to Buddhist teachings is the profound truth of impermanence. Everything is in a constant state of change. Nothing, relationships, possessions, even ourselves, is permanent. This invites us to loosen our grip and embrace the ever-changing nature of existence. Non-attachment complements this, urging us to release our desires for things to be a certain way. It's not about denying feelings, but cultivating inner freedom in the face of life's ups and downs. By letting go of attachment to outcomes, we open ourselves to deeper peace. Embracing impermanence frees us from clinging to transient things. When we release attachment to external circumstances, we liberate ourselves from the suffering that arises when those things change. Instead of seeking fulfillment externally, we find refuge within. It also fosters interconnectedness, recognizing that everything is impermanent and interconnected, cultivates compassion, empathy, and gratitude for the tapestry of our shared reality. By letting go, we discover a freedom and joy that transcends the fluctuations of the world. Mindfulness and meditation are powerful practices for self-focus and inner peace. Mindfulness is paying deliberate attention to the present moment with openness and non-judgment. It involves bringing awareness to your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without getting caught up in reactions. Meditation involves setting aside time to sit quietly and observe the mind without getting swept away. Through practices like breath awareness and loving-kindness meditation, we train our minds to be more focused and resilient. Meditation calms the mind and reduces stress, offering a refuge from the chaos of daily life. It also increases self-awareness. As we sit still, we uncover patterns of thought and behavior, gaining insights into our inner landscape. Mindfulness and meditation are a transformative journey of self-discovery. By cultivating present moment awareness, we deepen our connection with ourselves. Treating yourself with kindness is a cornerstone of self-focus. Too often, we're our own harshest critics. Just as we'd extend empathy to a friend, we must cultivate the same compassion towards ourselves, recognizing our inherent worth. Self-talk is key. Replace self-criticism with words of encouragement. Treat yourself as you would a dear friend, offering kindness in moments of difficulty. Self-care is crucial too. Engage in activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit, prioritizing activities that bring you joy. Developing self-love also involves accepting all aspects of yourself, the light and the shadow, the strengths and vulnerabilities. Embrace your uniqueness and celebrate your inherent worthiness. By treating ourselves with kindness, we create a foundation of self-worth and resilience that empowers us to navigate life's challenges. Setting boundaries is essential for protecting your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Boundaries define acceptable behavior, helping you maintain healthy relationships and self-respect. Without them, you risk becoming overwhelmed by the demands of others. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's an act of self-love. By expressing your needs and limits, you create space for authentic connections and respect. Establishing healthy habits and prioritizing self-care is also vital. Self-care includes activities that support your health, from sleep and exercise to hobbies. Prioritizing self-care is an investment in your well-being. Create a daily routine that includes time for self-care. Practice self-compassion when you fall short of your goals. Life is unpredictable, and it's okay to adjust your self-care practices as needed. Reflecting on your values and goals is essential for a fulfilling life. Your values are the principles guiding your decisions, while your goals reflect your aspirations. When you align your actions with your values and work towards meaningful goals, you create a sense of purpose. Set aside time for introspection to explore what truly matters to you. Consider the qualities you hold dear: honesty, compassion, freedom. Reflect on moments of joy and ask what values they align with. Ensure that your goals are rooted in your values, not driven by external expectations. Aligning actions with values enhances integrity. When you live in accordance with your values, you experience congruence between your inner self and your outer life. It fosters resilience too. When you encounter challenges, your values serve as guiding principles, helping you stay true to yourself as sons. One of the most empowering steps is to accept responsibility for your own growth. It's easy to blame circumstances, but true empowerment comes from recognizing that you have the power to shape your life. Take ownership of your journey and move from passivity to active participation. You are the architect of your destiny. Instead of waiting for permission, take the initiative to pursue your dreams. Remember that growth is a journey, not a destination. Acknowledge that you have the power to change, regardless of your past. Focus on the present moment and the opportunities for growth it offers. Embracing personal responsibility cultivates a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities can be developed through effort. View challenges as opportunities for learning. In the journey of growth, one of the most transformative experiences is embracing vulnerability. Vulnerability involves allowing yourself to be seen and heard, showing up as your true self without pretense. It requires opening your heart and sharing your fears with others. Authenticity entails living in alignment with your values, expressing yourself honestly. Embracing vulnerability is not easy. It requires courage. Yet, it is through this act that you open yourself up to deeper connections and richer experiences. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you invite others to do the same, creating space for genuine connection. It allows you to live with greater integrity. When you stop pretending to be someone you're not, you experience freedom. By embracing vulnerability, you also cultivate a deeper sense of purpose, living authentically. In modern life, finding balance is crucial for well-being. Balance means harmonizing work, relationships, and self-care. When you achieve balance, you create a life that is fulfilling and aligned with your values. Recognize that all areas of your life are interconnected. Dedicate time to work, relationships, and self-care. Prioritize activities that nourish all aspects of your being. Set clear boundaries around work and technology, disconnecting during personal hours. Cultivate mindfulness, staying grounded in the present moment. By savoring simple pleasures, you build deeper connections. Finding balance is a continuous journey of self-awareness. Remember that balance looks different for everyone. Listen to your needs to find what works best for you. Comparing yourself to others can be detrimental to your well-being. When you measure yourself against others, you set yourself up for feelings of inadequacy. Comparison robs you of the joy of your own accomplishments. One of the dangers is that it often leads to a distorted perception of reality. To let go of comparison cultivates self-awareness and self-compassion. Remind yourself that your worth is not determined by external factors. Practice gratitude for your unique qualities. Embrace the idea that everyone's journey is unique. Celebrate the successes of others, knowing that their achievements do not diminish your worth. Letting go of comparison is essential for cultivating inner peace. Practicing gratitude is a powerful way to cultivate appreciation in your life. Gratitude involves recognizing the blessings you encounter each day. By shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have, you cultivate a mindset of abundance. Research shows that practicing gratitude has numerous benefits for your health. It increases happiness and resilience, as well as decreases feelings of stress. One way to practice gratitude is to keep a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Cultivating contentment is closely intertwined with gratitude and involves finding satisfaction in the present moment. Contentment doesn't mean you stop striving for growth. It's about recognizing that true happiness comes from within. Moreover, it leads to greater satisfaction and inner peace. Contentment allows you to let go of the need for constant approval. Cultivating contentment is a powerful practice for nurturing inner peace. Embracing the journey of self-discovery is a powerful and transformative experience. It's a path of introspection that helps you uncover the truths within. While the journey may present challenges, it is rewarding, offering you the opportunity to cultivate self-awareness. Approach this journey with an open heart, welcoming the unknown with curiosity. Understand that self-discovery is not a destination. It is an ongoing process. Along the way, you may encounter parts of yourself that are uncomfortable to face. Leaning into these challenges uncovers hidden strengths. Reflecting on the growth that comes from focusing on yourself shows how self-discovery impacts your life. It brings clarity into who you are. When you know yourself fully, you show up authentically in your relationships. Self-discovery is a journey that fosters connections with yourself and others. Focus on a goal. In my experience, focus is the most important determination of whether you will achieve a goal or stick to creating a new habit. Not self-discipline, not rewards, not sheer willpower, not even motivation. If you can maintain your focus on a goal or habit, you will more often than not achieve that goal or create that habit. If you can't maintain your focus, you won't achieve the goal unless it's such an easy goal that it would have happened anyway. It's that simple. Why does focus matter so much? Let's say you decide you want to declutter your house. That's your goal for this month. So the first day, you're completely focused on this goal, and you get boxes and trash bags and fill them up with junk. The second day, you're still focused, and you fill up a bunch more boxes, and you've cleared most of 2 rooms with progress on another. This goes on for a few more days, with your focus being on this goal and lots of progress made. However, let's say that a week into your decluttering, you decide you want to become a runner. You are now focused on running, and not only do you go out to jog for a few days, you buy running clothes and a Nike-equipped iPod and read running blogs and magazines. However, you've lost your focus on decluttering, and soon you aren't doing much of it because your focus is on running. In fact, you've added more clutter because you've bought all the running equipment and magazines and books. Meanwhile, I have maintained my focus on decluttering the entire month, and by the end of the month, I have a nice simplified house. I did it through focus. This is why I am constantly advocating focusing on only one goal at a time. Having multiple goals spreads out your focus and makes it less likely that you'll complete any of the goals. It's possible, but with a diffuse focus, it's much more difficult. Focusing on yourself is not an act of selfishness, but a journey of self-discovery and inner peace. By embracing practices like mindfulness, self-compassion, and gratitude, you foster a deeper connection with yourself and the world. By letting go of comparison and prioritizing self-care, you create a life that is authentic and fulfilling. The journey of self-discovery is ongoing. Every step towards self-awareness brings you closer to a life full of joy. So let us embark on this journey with courage, knowing that the greatest adventure lies within ourselves. Buddhism, as it has been taught, is a very methodical practice and is characterized by organized groupings and categorizations of human experience. Focusing is nowhere near so methodically developed. In the practice of noting, the Buddhist meditator is instructed to observe and distinguish among the actions of the various senses, of which there are 6, these being the 5 senses we commonly identify and the mind itself, as it is manifest through thought processes or the syntactical, cultural context within which we experience life. This latter is commonly referred to in Buddhism as mind objects. In this way, one cultivates awareness or mindfulness. In applying the technique, there is emphasis on a differentiation among the distinct sense experiences of sight, sounds, tastes, smells, physical sensations, and mental events. For example, the meditator notes seeing as awareness of blue sky fills the visual realm, hearing with the song of the birds and the squeal of the sirens, sensation as a fly walks along an arm, tiredness as energy flags, despair as thoughts of failure and hopelessness set in. In working with pain, the practitioner might be instructed to deconstruct the experience to its elements of burning, aching, pressure. In being with these physical sensations, with their pure, immediate, value-free nature, it is hoped that the meditator develops detachment, that she clears a space within which she can observe these phenomena not as herself, but simply as phenomena. The emotional responses which overlay the pain, the fear, anger, hopelessness, etc., diminish as they are seen as value-laden movements of mind, the sixth sense. Instead of "I am hungry," "I am in pain," "I am sad," she sees that hunger, pain, sadness occur, but do not define us. This clear observation of phenomena as it unfolds in the practitioner is essential. The Buddhist meditator will bring attention and concentration to this understanding for years, so as to deepen the ability to observe clearly and with benign, compassionate detachment the many precise components of this human life. There is a process of noting in focusing, but it takes on a precision that is unique to focusing, which is in itself both liberating and transformative. It is a complex activity that attends to the subtle interplay between formlessness and form, to the arising of thoughts and emotions, and to that from which they arise. The focuser tunes in to a vague, inchoate sensation that seems to hold something within it. Through the attempts to discover a name that fits the something, and with the patient attention of the listener, the inchoate takes on symbolic identification by means of whatever syntax of language and culture the focuser utilizes. The accuracy of the name is signaled to the focuser by means of resonating or asking the felt sense about the rightness of that symbolic identification. When the handle fits, the felt sense signals this rightness by a release or felt shift, which is felt in the body. Having been identified, that particular experience moves on of its own accord. The felt sense then signals something new, and the process begins again. It is the precision with which the handle identifies that which is waiting to emerge that allow the process to continue. This is especially valuable in working with stuckness, which can be gently questioned and accompanied until whatever unknown energetic impulse underneath it begins to reveal itself. The focuser sits with whatever is present, but at the same time goes to that place from which it emerged to see what, if anything, is waiting in line next to be expressed. The noting is, thus, woven into the wholeness of each moment of experience. It is not guided by a systemic division of the senses and deconstruction of the experience. It is a nothing of emergence, in itself a creative act. Mindfulness is one of the Buddha's 7 factors of enlightenment. It is not related to the mind sense listed above as one of the 6 organs or doors of experience, these being the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and mind objects, but is rather a quality of gentle observation of and detachment from all of those experiences we generally think of as forming ourselves. Mindfulness means seeing how things are, directly and immediately, seeing for oneself what is present and true. It is a clear awareness of what is happening in each moment. In his organized way, the Buddha defined 4 foundations of mindfulness: mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of feelings, mindfulness of the mind, and mindfulness of Dhamma as Dhamma. This last category of Dhamma as Dhamma is the most all-encompassing. Dhamma is translated in 2 ways. With a capital D, it is the Buddha's teachings. With a small d, it can be translated as all mind objects, all things and states conditioned or unconditioned, or all arising and passing phenomena. Gloria Ambrosia brings these two definitions together. She explains mindfulness of Dhamma, as mindfulness of truth in the phenomena of experience. To engage this fourth foundation of mindfulness is to bring awareness and an investigative reflection to the arising and transforming of all phenomena, to the endless play of evolving forms. It is a humble and grateful being present with whatever is arising. Moreover, it includes a certain quality of intellectual intuition, which is not an obstacle to mindfulness, but its natural consummation. It is a contemplative exercise to direct the observing power of the mind in order to see for ourselves what the Buddha taught. The process of focusing is akin to awakening and engaging this fourth foundation of mindfulness. Although not couched in such an all-encompassing philosophical framework, it nonetheless directs attention and awareness to the whole complex experience of being and to seeing the truth of that experience as it becomes manifest in the world. However, unlike in most meditation practices, the focuser is not directed to note the arising and passing away of a given experience. Instead, she deliberately accompanies her felt experience and creates a space which invites the emergence of something new. When a newness comes that feels right and true, it carries with it an intrinsic quality of insight. The Buddhist syntax highlights the fact of impermanence, the perpetual arising and passing away of phenomena. Within this impermanence, transformation is implied, but not emphasized. Focusing, on the other hand, highlights the transformation of phenomena, the constant evolving of form. Impermanence is implied, but is not emphasized. The felt shift of focusing is innately pleasure. The focuser gently invites a newness of ripening and growth, however that manifests. It surreptitiously undermines attachment and the anxiety associated with loss, because the focuser always lets go into a place where the body signals wellness. The subtle emphasis resulting from the commonly used language of Buddhism has tended to invite a lack of full engagement with the world, a tendency many Buddhists have had to strive against, resulting, as one example, in the school of Tantric Buddhism. In focusing engagement of the process of transformation within the ordinary human dynamic, it might be more akin to this school, which argues that enlightenment is to be found in a full immersion in life's experience rather than in studied contemplation. It advocates for a detached but simultaneously full immersion in the richness, drama, and complexity of life. The resonance of focusing is a dance between the felt awareness, as signaled by the body, and cognition or form. From a vague inchoate sense, something new emerges in a shape determined by the individual's cultural framework. It may be a new understanding of an individual's life story, or a new way of being in relationship to another or to oneself. An expansive awareness is the context within which focusing unfolds, but it invites interest in the emergence into syntactic context. The felt process can be deliberately used to facilitate the transformation from inchoate into the phenomena of symbolic syntax. This form may be words, an artistic medium, like art or music, mathematical concepts, or any other aspect of cultural organization. Every cultural medium, all mind objects, can be the means by which new ideas, new experiences, and new insights arise, even as they are the means through which to see the truth of the Buddha's teachings. Although it may be implied, this process is not explicitly described within the Buddhist system. Likewise, the felt sense, which is key to focusing, is not identified in Buddhism. It is not one of the 6 senses noted above, nor one of the 5 parallel senses of Western conceptualization, nor is it equivalent to mindfulness. Mary Hendricks describes it as having within it the ground that gives rise to the emotion, not just the emotion. It holds that which the focuser is aware of and that which has not yet come into being. It's a subtle experience of something definitely felt, yet vague, blurry, and without sharp parameters. It's close to the Western concept of a 6th sense that suggests a felt awareness of something intuited, but not directly reachable, and asks for a quiet attention in order for that something to be known. Focusing contends that there is a bodily response connected to the felt sense as the emergent experience becomes manifest. The focuser may patiently explore and reject numerous emergent possibilities if there is no, or an inadequate, bodily response. Unlike the felt sense, the felt shift, which occurs upon a successful focusing movement, is immediate and clear, and contains a sense of relief and carrying forward. An example is the felt sense, which signals a realization of remorse and the relief that comes with the corresponding knowledge and act of contrition. With an experience of true contrition, there is a bodily sense of relief, a felt shift, a sense of weight being lifted. Although this particular way of paying attention to the self emerging into form is not an explicit focus of Buddhism, in his teachings, the Buddha often points to the fact of the origination and dissolution of experience and the knowing of how experience and phenomena arise and pass away. The bhikkhu knows how the non-arisen arises. He knows how the arisen disappears. It does not say how this knowledge is experienced, but we can safely presume that what is translated as knowing is not the intellectual accumulation of scientific fact we equate with knowing in the West. Rather, it is something more deeply felt, a visceral knowledge. Of course, the knowledge pointed to by the Buddha is tremendously deep and wide. It includes the arising and passing away of all phenomena, all beings and sentient creatures, all syntaxes and symbolic representations, every material element of our material existence, as well as levels of awareness and states of being that are far beyond the ordinary. But, keeping within the confines of daily human experience, focusing guides the practitioner to an experiential knowing of her evolving self, of the arising, transforming, and passing away of the many steps of the complex cultural dance of beingness we engage in day to day.